And good afternoon. Welcome back to St. George, Utah, and the Thunder, the home of the Thunder here, Desert Hills High School. I'm Herm Ellenboss alongside Phil Spencer as we get set for our final match of this Desert Challenge here in St. George. And we are going through starting lineups and so on here with our final group here. This will feature the Desert Hills Thunder against the Pleasant Grove Vikings. And both of these teams come into this final match 1-1 in this tournament. Pleasant Grove and Desert Hills, both from Utah. Pleasant Grove south of Salt Lake City. And Desert Hills, the home team right here in St. George, Utah. Let's take a look at our Pleasant Grove players to be talking about. The coach is Isa Takahashi. They'll be going with Addie Pace, an outside hitter who's a senior. Molly Mitchell, a middle blocker, 6'2" senior. Marley Vea, she's a 6-foot senior. Marley McCandless is the setter, she's 6'2". Lexi Brown, outside hitter, a junior. Addie Warren, a sophomore outside. Tatum Nelson, a 6'6" middle. And that may be the tallest player in this tournament, but Marymount had about 3 or 4 of them close to that. And we are getting set for some fun here today. For the Desert Hills Thunder, it'll be Sam Spencer, the libero. Jessica Openshaw is an outside hitter. Malia Hedrick is an outside hitter, 5'9". She wears number 5. Megan Hale wears number 10, a 5'11" senior middle. Annie Gilmore, what a great tournament she's had for the Thunder, a 6'1" senior, going out strong here in this fourth year of the Desert Challenge. Presley Decker has had another good player with a great tournament, 6-foot senior. Jayla Wybright sets the table for the Thunder. She's 5'7" senior. Coach Craig and Sherry Allred, good friends of mine. Craig Allred played at Montana State University Billings, and that's where we met, so we go back a long ways. So it's Pleasant Grove and the Thunder from Desert Hills. What do you think on this one, Phil?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's in store for us. Both teams playing well. Kind of a battle for second place here. Marymount just proved to be the cream of the crop here at this tournament. Really good program, really good kids. Did a lot of good things on the court.
Well, they lived up to billing, didn't they? I mean, they came in kind of the stud team, if you can call the girls' teams stud teams. But, wow, have they been blowing the socks off me as far as watching it. I went to the end, and just some violent hitters. I mean, there's a new level of violence when they take that swing, it seems like. But a lot of these girls right up there with them. But they had some real quality coming at you with the ball. And the libero will be Caitlin Stadler, for Pleasant Grove. And welcome back to the YouTube. So glad to have you on the channel here today watching Utah volleyball. Great level of talent in this tournament, and it's been a blast. Jayla Wybright will serve first, the setter for Desert Hills, and she'll drop one in on Stadler, and Pleasant Grove can't handle it. Pleasant Grove Vikings are the name of the team, so a 1-0 lead for the Thunder.
Good net patrol there by Megan, getting up high, throwing it straight down.
Stadler, good pass to McCandless, knocks it over. Gilmore's under it, outside. Openshaw makes a good defensive play off the tip back. Decker to the back line, and covered by Pleasant Grove. There's one that's going to sail out of bounds, 2-0 Thunder.
Yeah, good pickup there by Jessica. Good hard swing. Got blocked, picked it up. Had to play another day.
Reflex City there. Wybright, middle again. This time a new receiver on that one. That's Olivia Marsh. Free ball back to the Thunder. Pleasant Grove not getting into system yet. Openshaw misses. And Pleasant Grove is off the schneid here, 2-1.
I think Jessica was a little nervous of that big block there in the middle. Kind of went a little more angled than she has been all tournament. She'll work that out.
Well, who can't think about the 6'6" middle blocker? And Caitlin Stadler will go back to serve for the Vikings. Tips the net, saved on the front row by Weybright. Picked on over, and somehow it came back to Desert Hills. Decker, McCandless sets it up. That's going to barely make it over. Thunder fighting to get a free ball over. Finally they do. McCandless sets up the middle, and the rejection by Desert Hills. Megan Hale comes up big on that one. 3-1 Thunder in the first set.
Good play by Presley there to recognize that the block she had didn't count as a touch because it's a block. Went and got it again.
That's a and that's a foot fault. As Openshaw got her big toe over the line.
Yeah, she's been tempting that line all tournament long. That one just a little bit too far over.
Got to move back to that H on the Thunder logo, like some teams have. And back to serve Marley Vea. Vea, a senior 6-footer for the Vikings. She'll take it high down the line, and a fluff there by Gilmore on a sailing ball from Vea. She just kept going up and just couldn't get squared up on it high enough.
Yep, kept floating, and touched it. It's probably going out.
Super float ball there. And we're tied up at 3. Vea back to work, same spot. This time Gilmore, no problem. Decker cross court, headed out, played by Vea. The swing, Marsh, net violation. Pleasant Grove gives one away there. 4-3 Thunder. Sammy Spencer goes back to serve. Maybe I shouldn't call her Sammy. I got to check on that because you're the dad. You know what nickname she's okay with there.
It's probably okay.
Okay. Another big swing, and this time shut down again on the Olivia Marsh swing. Decker was there, and the Thunder back up by 2.
Yeah, Presley's been doing a good job of getting those hands high over the net and facing them back into the court to direct that ball down into the middle.
Just textbook block there for Decker. Spencer reloads. All the way to the back row, pushed over. Spencer gets under it. Long run for Weybright. Here's the swing by Gilmore. That's going to sail high. Just missed the backboard. Got to bring that in now. And good running away from the ball. Move by Openshaw down to Gilmore, and she can't clear the net.
Yeah, great one-handed up there by Jess. Good dig on the other side, too. I know Jared's happy to see that. His daughter just standing in there and just digging a ball.
And that will send Adri Warren back to serve. Pleasant Grove down by 1. She gives that service line a lot of room. Tips the net, handled by Gilmore. Backside, Decker jams it through the block and down. Lexi Brown was there, couldn't control that hard swing.
Yeah, good heavy swing, knocking those arms back and down on her side.
And that sends Decker back to the service line, 6-4 Thunder. First set, last match of the tournament. And that's going to sail long. It's back to a 1-point game. Molly Mitchell met her dad, Wayne Mitchell, in the stands a while ago. Nice guy. Loves volleyball, loves watching his daughter play. And Mitchell sends it cross court to Decker. The set outside, Gilmore unloads. Twists it off the block, and it finds the floor just outside the 10-foot line.
Yeah, good high swing there. Caught Molly's hands up high. That's a high swing to get up there.
And Gilmore goes back to serve. Back to the 2-point lead for the Thunder. That flops. A one-arm stab didn't work for Tatum Nelson, and it finds the floor. Stick out the hand, hope good things happen, but the cover never came over for Nelson's play at the net. And Gilmore reloads. Sailor way out the back door. Side out.
Yeah, you could see the trajectory on that ball just not come down. It was just nice and flat and grew wings and flew on out of there.
Puff of wind coming off the back wall. And here's McCandless, the setter, back to serve. Only a sophomore. Spencer runs it down. Openshaw, a little flip over the top. Not much on that one. And the swing out the back door for Lexi Brown. That back line a little elusive in the early going for Pleasant Grove. And Malia Hedrick will go back to serve. And she sends it right on the back line. Everybody watched it go by. Ace for Hedrick.
Perfectly set up by the last handful, sailing out of bounds.
Yeah.
Playing the long game here at
that's
Desert
out.
Hills.
Yeah. Hedrick will try it again. Sailor again, popped up by Lexi Brown. Big swing that time. How did Decker get that one in play? Back row, Gilmore got a little tip, and that sent it to the floor. And Annie Gilmore delivers. 11-6, first set.
Great dig by Presley there. She probably wishes she could have seen it, but it was a good dig.
And Hedrick still going, this time a little tape check. On the serve, Spencer will come back into the game in the libero role. And back to serve goes Lexi Brown for the Vikings. She'll set up deep on the left corner, send it cross court. Two players converge on that. Spencer with a bump set, Openshaw cross court. Nice dig by Stadler. And the point goes to the Thunder.
Good get by Jess, that overpass.
Takahashi thinking about the timeout. There comes the tee, and we're not talking technical. So at a 12-7 breakout by the Thunder, Pleasant Grove calls the timeout.
I'd love to see him keep this momentum going forward. They're playing pretty well. Scrambling around for balls. That dig by Presley, good dig, converted on it. Uncle Mo trying to get to Desert Hills side. Keep it.
Uncle Mo, I like it. There's probably an Uncle Mo out there in our viewing audience.
That turned around and looked like, what?
Yeah, wait, they know me? Well, I like to mention names on these internet broadcasts because you don't know where people are listening, who's listening, but usually somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. So Uncle Mo is a new one.
Yeah, momentum.
Yeah.
We like Uncle Mo coming to visit.
Oh, yeah. We like him staying in our town. And that will send Weybright back to serve again out of the timeout. So a 5-point lead for the Thunder. Let's see if the timeout turns things around a little bit for Pleasant Grove. And Weybright, just a simple approach to that serve. Stadler handles it to the outside. That's going to be down. Just what the doctor ordered by Marley Vea.
Yeah, nothing flashy on Jayla's serve, just consistent. Puts it in good spots. You know, the more that you're able to stay with a good serve, the more successful you're going to be.
Yeah, don't be too dramatic unless you got the pounders that can really blast that serve inside the block, but this time Pleasant Grove scoops it out. Vea catches a little block there. Openshaw, nice recovery by Stadler as she went parallel to the floor and makes the play, and then a error on the part of Pleasant Grove sends the ball back to the Thunder.
Yeah, good recognition there by Desert Hills. Ball got popped up. No one was quite available to get it. Went in, set it, took care of it.
I love those sliding one-hand digs that we just saw on the replay. That's so athletic. Has to be one of the most athletic sports that I call. I call about 3 of them, so it's not like the world or anything, but a lot of talent athletically on these volleyball girls. Vea sends it back to Gilmore. Gilmore's going to get the setback. She'll unload, jam it into the block. Double block, can't handle that swing by Gilmore.
Good heavy ball there by Annie.
She went just below the meat of the hands, and that, you know, if you don't make the adjustment instantaneously, there's a chance of what's happened, we just saw happen. And Sam Spencer goes back to serve with a 5-point lead. Takes it middle back to Stadler. Quick. That left the hitter out to dry a little bit, but she still got it done, and they're going to get the point out of it. Hung in the air, checked her cell phone, and then hit the ball.
Yeah, good touches over here. A little bit of panic instead of just letting the ball come down to a platform, trying to go get it when it's up high. There's lots of time when the ball's in the air.
And back to serve, Adria Warren. She poses the right hand, sends it long. 15-10. Thunder rolling so far in the first set. And Decker will go back to serve. Presley, a 6-foot senior. Outstanding tournament. A little bit of a sinker ball there. Popped up by Bishop. And a splitter from the outside for Lexi Brown. Brown finds the lane on that one.
Yeah, kind of one-on-one block again there. Middle didn't quite get over there. Left a lot of room for the outside hitter to just kind of tee off without a lot of fear.
And Molly Mitchell back to serve. Decker pops it up. Weybright, Gilmore. Once again, the block couldn't get up high enough on that. That high release from Gilmore. Boy, that's hard to take any speed off that one.
Yeah, good swing by Annie. Good set, too. Way to get it out there to her.
So Gilmore, after that kill, goes back to serve. And she'll float it. Middle back. Bishop's under it. Up ahead, that's going to bounce off the top of the block. Covered on the backside by Gilmore. Up to Openshaw. That's a tip, but it's taken care of in the back row by the Vikings. Stuffed block out of bounds. Point Vikings there. Back within 4.
Ooh, way to be up, but unfortunately that ball's going to know angles. If you're facing that way, that's where the ball is going to go when you touch it.
So Marley McCandless, the 6'2 setter. Right corner serve. Gets a little bit of a shankopotamus there from Annie Gilmore. And she's probably kicking herself in her head, but she'll move on to the next play.
Yeah, hopefully she does, because we're going to need her.
Yeah. 16-13. This time Presley Decker takes the ball. Backside Openshaw. And this time the block took care of business. Marley Villa and the 6'6 Tatum Nilsson shut that down on the front.
Yeah, she was just lying in wait for that swing that was off the net to just read it, go up, and just put it straight down.
And the lead closer than it's been for a while, 16-14. Pleasant Grove coming back in the middle of this set. Outside, Openshaw, that set left her no options. Free ball over by Hedrick, pounded down. Somehow Pleasant Grove keeps it alive. Decker, Weybright, back row, Gilmore, and Gilmore delivers again, 17-14.
Yeah, scrambling there, Desert Hills scrambling, hoping for something, and Annie put it away.
She kept her focus on that one. There's a lot going on around her, and in her mind, it was just her, the ball, and the opposite floor.
Yeah, shook off that bad pass. Great. On to the next play.
Hedrick gets a little flopper off the net. Vea plays it. Cross court, handled. That's not going to get over the net that time. Openshaw pushes to the corner. That's out.
Good.
And a point for the Thunder.
Good play by Jessica there. That's a tough ball. Doug on top of the net, staying on our side. That's a tough ball to get.
Hedrick back to serve again for the Thunder, and that's not going to get over the net. Thunder playing well in the first set, and the Vikings hanging right in there. And back to serve Lexi Brown. I'm thinking of all the names that I call in volleyball. Lexi's got to be one of the most popular names among players. Just a little side note, Marley Villa takes a good whip at that one. Doesn't happen. Openshaw, she's rejected. Villa comes back with Nelson again. That double team on the block, successful there. And back to the 2-point edge for the Thunder as we move toward money time here in this first set.
Yeah, Desert Hills becoming a little bit predictable here because the passing has been decent but not great.
Weybright, you saw the Openshaw adjustment over that double block. She kind of lofted it that time, and why wouldn't you? Weybright, back row, Presley Decker, how did she get through that crease?
There
wow.
we go, jacking the flow a little bit instead of doing the same thing over and over, doing a little back set to Presley there.
Stadler and Brown looked at it, watched it go by. Back to the 3-point bulge. Back to serve Weybright. Weybright snaps the wrist. Marsh is on it. Point Thunder. And Coach Takahashi is going to take a timeout as he's seeing the Thunder continue to hold the 4-point lead as they head toward the 25-point mark. And we've got some sponsors, right?
We do have some sponsors. House of Jump has been so nice to Desert Hills Volleyball. Craig really wanted me to mention them, says he appreciates them so much. So make sure you frequent their establishment. G2G Protein Bars, again, a great sponsor for us. I think he said they were our title sponsors.
Did you get a box of bars yet?
Not yet, but I didn't check in my car. I don't know if they left it on it or.
Well, do they have your home address?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, don't give it on the air. That's a little bit too wide of a pool there.
Under the overpass by Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Herm. Earlier in the set, Jayla, a real consistent server. Nothing flashy, nothing super hard, but it's just consistent. And if you put the ball in play, a lot of the times you're going to be successful.
No mystery. It's always going to be where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
You know, there's the flashy servers that really can turn a game around, and then there's people like Jayla that just keep delivering and allow the team to make the plays. Back set, Vea, miss, 21-16. Isa Takahashi sees the Thunder come out of the timeout with that point. And Weybright just leading her team to the finish line here in the first set. Back corner, there's an ace.
Great spot, great spot.
Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt.
Had been working those seams and then went outside. Everybody expecting it. It's good serve, good location.
6-point lead, 3 points away from home. This time almost an ace, but Vea goes into the crowd. It is an ace as Vea can't scoop that out of her teammates.
And there's our 7th player on the court, the basketball standard up there taking care of business again.
I think one of those players tickled her in the stomach when she was leaning over. That's why she was smiling after that. Weybright, great controlled serve again. Marsh handles it. Huge swing, huge stuff block. Decker doing her thing. And the Thunder are 1 point away from taking the first set. Just a solid, technically perfect block there on the net for Decker. Weybright, middle back. Stadler makes the play, a little ricochet off the backboard again. Openshaw, push to the backside, Gilmore's there. Weybright, Decker through the tip, wide open into the donut hole, and that's it on the first set.
Smart shot. Presley had a great game there.
Good vision. 25-16 is the score as the Thunder, after winning earlier today, come back with a first set win here.
Yeah, good performance. They put it all together, did great, had some great covers, some good hustle plays, which is always going to get momentum on your side, and then followed through with continuing to do the things that they need to do to be successful.
Do these teams play any other time, like in normal course of schedule?
Typically, no. Pleasant Grove is a division or two higher population-wise than Desert Hills is. But
so they wouldn't see him in a tournament or anything like that?
A tournament?
Like a final tournament of the year or something like that?
They won't. They're in different classifications.
And how about just the kind of early season and mid-season tournaments where you just go out and play teams?
Yep. Try to get better. Try to play good teams. They may. Talking to Coach Isa, they're putting on a UVU tournament that we are going to, or Desert Hills is going to. I say we. I apologize. That Desert Hills is going to, but I think the schedule's set and we don't play them again this year.
Well, good chance then to see what the higher league offers, and the first set turned out well. We'll take a short break, be back with set number 2 and see what the Thunder do and the Vikings do here in the second set.
Yeah, don't forget to go get your G2G protein bars.
And before we get too close to the end of this tournament, we want to pay tribute to our Utah Tech production team. They've been all over this tournament, providing great video and providing the looks you want to see when you're watching good volleyball. So a huge thank you to the UTEC cameraman and production team and director. So big thank you from a couple of announcers here trying to keep track of things.
Yeah, awesome. So I was watching the G2G commercial during the break, Herm. Have you done one of those ice baths? No. So I
had an ice bath on my foot one time for a sprained ankle. But
so I got into it. I actually really enjoy it. It really helps with recovery. But when I first started doing it, I was able to get up to like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. I was out with my kids, and we met up with a friend of mine, saw him at the store. I was talking to him, telling him what I was doing. He was like, oh, yeah, I just started that too. I'm up to 6 minutes. And so my kids just razzed me and just were making fun of me constantly that I could only do 3.5 minutes. My buddy Tom was up to 6 already. So I worked my way up to 6 minutes. And then we saw Tom later,
he was up to
a
12,
month or so later, and he's like, oh my gosh, I quit that week because it was so cold. There's no way I was doing that anymore.
Openshaw starts out with the first swing of this second set. I got to ask, is it dangerous to try to go too long? Because, I mean, if the ice cubes kind of freeze every muscle in your body, how do you get out of the tub?
I would think so. I think 6 is what they recommend, depending on the temperature, is about the max that they want you in there.
Well, good for you. That's all I can say. You still do it?
When I can.
Yeah.
Summers are a little tough down here.
Is that a personal ice bath, or do you got to go someplace?
Nowadays, you got to go someplace when it's warm like this because you can't keep it at your house.
Decker gets dug out, tries again. And Stadler's on that again. That's too long, and it's 2-0 Thunder in the second set. You know, they got that commercial on TV where they always show, I don't even know what they're advertising, but they're sitting in ice tubs, and just, never appealed to me, but I'm sure there's a big health benefit for it, right?
There is, and I'm not sure what that commercial is, but they're probably thinking about eating G2G protein bars.
Now, what does G2G do? It just gets your heating elements going in your body?
I think it's just an amazing protein bar that cannot be topped.
Huh. I'd say that's a pretty good commercial for G2G, so good job, Phil. Craig will be happy. You treated him right on that one. And everyone out there is rushing to their nearest ice tub right now. And a miss on the serve, and that takes it to a 3-1 game. Or 2-2, rather. She caught the line.
Linesman calls it in right on the outside of the line. Thick line right there.
Enjoying my ice tub conversation too much, so didn't watch that to the floor. So 2-2 tie in the second set. Gilmore gets it up. Weybright, the swing, Decker delivers. She's got to be one of the better players in your conference. I don't know your conference, but when you see standouts, in the short time that I've had to watch them, she has to be right up there.
Yeah, looking to give us a senior leadership role as a senior this year for sure.
Openshaw delivers the ace to double up on Pleasant Grove. And here goes Openshaw again, staying off that line a little bit. She takes it deep. And that'll be point for Pleasant Grove. Back to serve for Pleasant Grove will go Adria Warren. Nope, she's going to get subbed out. Kaylin Bishop will come in and take over at the service line. And she backs up beyond the logo. Usually that means a long approach. Spencer, no problem, little overpass, little roofing job at the net, gives the point to the Thunder. Just a little bit past that, whatever mark that is that produces a roofing call. That's a judgment call, right?
Yeah, it is a judgment call.
Yeah, she had elbows over, so. Yeah. But you see that sometimes, and no problem. Kind of depends at the level you're watching. Kaylin Bishop goes again, tied up at 4. Outside. Wow. Annie Gilmore.
Yeah, good swing there.
When you need a point, check out number 13. And Sam Spencer back to serve. A little bit of a flat pass up to McCandless. Handled. We're still in business for the Vikings up until that swing by Decker. You know, defense was there, but they kind of overran it a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't even know how you do anything different because Decker can move it wherever she wants. Back to serve again, Spencer. And Stadler gets the play up. There's Decker again. Another wide open corner.
Yeah, good swing there by Decker. We've mentioned throughout the tournament, Herm, that Desert Hills, to be successful, is going to have to get those balls to the pins. Pin hitters are figuring things out as we go on. We need to be careful, though, not to forget about our middles so that everybody starts camping on our outsides.
Well, we saw that in the previous match where they got a little predictable, like you mentioned, and then they moved to the middle and gave Hedrick a chance, and that kind of loosened things up. Didn't look like they were committed to that middle, though. Kind of depends on your personnel, too, I would think. It's so hard not to choose to go to someone that delivers, you know, 350 or 400 or whatever it is at the time, depending on the setter or the hitter. And here's Decker, 8-5, Thunder. Bishop pops it up. Wow. Home run. Off the Desert Challenge poster in the back wall on one bounce.
I don't think we need a replay to say no touch.
She did get it over the block, though. And Presley Decker will see what she's got from the service line this time. Middle back, Bishop pops it up. Stadler, nice swing. And there's your side out from Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, great swing there. I know Sam would like to have that one back. She loves the hard swing at her like that. She'd love to have another shot. Hope she'll get one.
Marley McCandless. So much promise on a tall setter that's talented. Outside, Gilmore, touch. That's down. That's sailed over Bishop on the back row after the touch at the net. Vea might have been the person with the fingernail on that one. It's 10-6 Thunder in the second set. They took the first set. 25-16. Gilmore floats it. Handled by Brown. Little chip shot over the top, covered with a run by Decker, and a wide open middle for Gilmore.
Good swing. Annie's doing a great job of not swinging straight, giving a little bit of angle, picking a seam from that middle back where typically the defense isn't going to be. It's going to take a real good play to get the ball up. Her percentages are higher if she picks one of those spots.
Pretty hard to read,
job.
too, isn't it?
Yep.
When they're moving that around like that. Here's
Yep.
Gilmore. Floater. Yep, they let that one go. Good choice there. Caitlin Statter watched it go by, and it turned into a service error. And Lexi Brown back to serve. Decker. Openshaw didn't get it over the tape. Or there was a block, not sure, but same result. That double block over there, pretty effective. Yeah, that tape is shaking there on that replay, but they're still celebrating the block. Lexi Brown goes again. They're within 3. Pushed over by Hedrick. Good run for Spencer to save that one. Little tip over the top. Marley Vea. Dug out by Decker. Bump set to Spencer. Actually, she just played the free ball. In the middle, Nelson gets dug out. Straight down with that 6-6 swing, and the Thunder were equal to it. And a touch, did that make that sail? Yes. So the touch pays off for Pleasant Grove. Yep, right there, Hedrick got the hands up high and got a little piece of that one as it went by. Lexi Brown still with the service run. This time she tacks on an ace, and look at the scoreboard. The Pleasant Grove Vikings are within 1. I believe it was at least a 4-point edge for the Thunder. And they're within 1 now, trying to tie it up with this Lexi Brown serve. Decker perfect up to Weybright. Openshaw tries the tip, and it turns into a mistake on the front row from Nelson. A little taking something off of it really threw off that block there.
Yeah, Tatum was right there and probably above the net, but just falling backwards because the timing was off. Tried to throw it down, just wasn't quite there to throw it on their side of the net.
Hedrick. So the Thunder fought off the tie attempt for now. Marley Vea, long run for Decker. She, with the back to the net, makes the play, and then nobody covers. That ball was in the air a long time, and the Thunder didn't get the cover on that one, and back to the 1-point spread as Sam Spencer comes back in.
Yeah, darn basketball hoop pushing that ball down. We like it when it's on the other side.
Right. You'd think they were high enough in this tall, oh, another one. 2 in a row. Openshaw trying to kill it against her own team. And we have a 12-12 tie. So Pleasant Grove has fought back from being down in the second set, losing the first set, and they have pulled into a tie. Where do they go from here? Stadler, back to Decker, Weybright. The quick pays off. There's that middle you've been asking for from Megan Hale.
Yeah, good run there, good connection.
She goes right up with the set, boom.
Yeah, keeping that middle honest.
The lead back to the Thunder.
The pin blockers didn't even move because they were so camped on a pin attack.
That's a good thing for a coach to notice, which I'm sure they did. Warren. Openshaw, cross court. Saved by Vea, what a play. Pushed over by Molly Mitchell. And Decker gets the elevation off the tip over the head of the defense on the back row, and the Thunder back up by 2. So it's Weybright's turn to push some points here from the service line. Good hard floater. McCandless sets up Vea. Decker, routine, set him up play here. That time the quick didn't work as the Vikings got under it. Decker shoots it to the middle back. Lexi Brown makes that play. Tipped over, a little touch right at the net. Might have misdirected that one a little bit.
Just like we saw yesterday, a lot of balls hitting the tape to misdirect the last second. I think Megan got a little fingertip on it to kind of touch it away from her.
And we've got a timeout. Thunder have rebuilt the lead after being tied at 12. They're back up by 3.
Yeah, good back and forth battle here, Herm, between Pleasant Grove and Desert Hills. You can kind of see the ebb and flow as the game's going on. I enjoy watching how each team is responding to either the adversity or the good things that they're doing.
Well, each of these coaches has to look at this tournament as a very valuable experience for their team, you know, as they go back into the conference wars, wherever they're playing. You know, as you see different players that you don't see other times, and get some new habits, try some new things, get some success. We'll see what Isa Takahashi comes up with out of this timeout to get Pleasant Grove back on the ball here. Weybright, a long service run here. She's done that several times in this tournament, put together some points. Looper to the backside. That's going to be shanked over to the other side. Free ball over the top from Molly Mitchell. Backside. Decker. Shanked away, but McCandless runs it down. That dangles on the net. Who gets there? Nobody. And that point goes to the Pleasant Grove Vikings out of the timeout. So do you actually have days here in St. George that are not over 100?
We do. We call them January.
Yeah. Probably a week there that you celebrate. Great play by Openshaw, but nobody covers. She kept that alive, but the cover team did not help her out at all. We're to a 1-point game, so 2 straight out of the timeout for Coach Takahashi. And once again, it was tied at 12. The Vikings spotted them a 3-point run, and now they're back within one again. Spencer with the up. Fisted over by Decker. McCandless goes to the middle, and it's a stuffer for the Thunder. Molly Mitchell gets stuffed.
Good block, 2 people up there on the middle. Good recognition of where that ball was going.
Here's Openshaw, middle back, McCandless, outside. That one gets through and down. Adri Warren got a good swing there, a little bit misdirected to keep Decker from squaring up on it. Here's Warren, boom, yep. Got the right hand, a little bit of a turn on the hand, and out it goes. And once again, we're knocking on the door of another tie here in the second set. Kaylin Bishop back to serve for the Vikings. Flips the net. Spencer, no problem. Outside, Gilmore, high bounce off the block, will set up the attack here. Near side, that's popped up. What a one-arm stab by Spencer to keep that alive. Gilmore, too long. Spencer stabs it into the air, but that wasn't enough to keep that point from tying up this set at 16 apiece. And Kaylin Bishop gets set to serve. Popped up, run down by Weybright. Gilmore gets blocked at the net. We're still going. Here's Decker. Decker smokes it, but she hooked it a little bit. And there's the lead for the Pleasant Grove Vikings. They kept pushing, kept competing, and they have taken over the lead at 17-16 as Bishop goes back to serve. Spencer chases her setter a little. Here's Decker. Decker with a looping shot to the back corner, and Bishop gives up on it, and it drops in with that puff of wind from the back wall. We're tied up at 17.
Yeah, good spot there. The previous couple swings didn't happen to land in, but I like the aggressiveness of Desert Hills to keep pushing, keep trying to earn points instead of hope for points.
That looked like a golf shot that has a spin on it and stops, and there's an ace. Ace for Spencer, back to the 1-point lead. Thunder gave it up at 17. Now they're back on top with 2 straight points at 18. And Spencer will try to push something here and get a little breathing room for her team. Opposite back, Bishop is there, overpass, somehow finds the floor. That should have been gobbled up at the net. Instead, we have an 18-18 tie. And back to serve Molly Mitchell. Molly screams it down the line, almost got the ace. She did get the ace. Gilmore got under it, but misdirected it, and no chance for Hedrick to bring it back to the court. And the Pleasant Grove Vikings on top again, 19-18. Mitchell goes again. Another one down the line. Another good hard serve off the net. Gilmore saved by Mitchell. Stufferama at the net. There's Decker celebrating. What a good block the Thunder are showing in this set. Boom. Straight down.
Yeah, straight down. Malia netted, but I think after the ball was down, so go ahead and do whatever you want to the net after the ball's down.
Oh, you shouldn't say that. Oh, they're not. Here's Decker. Back to the 19-19 tie. McCandless tries the dump shot. Decker sees it coming. Little duel at the net. One for now by the Vikings, and then Gilmore can't get it past the tape. And once again, the Vikings take the 1-point lead. Inchworm style through this one.
And once again, had a good swing at it, just wasn't able to convert.
Now, is that a case of the set not being high enough and Gilmore being committed, or is it just Gilmore made a mistake?
I think she was just
it there. We're tied up at 20.
Yeah, I think she was just trying for a little bit too much on that particular one.
Yeah.
She was just trying to go a little too much angle, trying for the absolute kill instead of putting in a difficult spot that's at least is going to take the other team out of what they want to do.
Well, you know, Weybright and Gilmore are longtime teammates, so they kind of know how to read each other. McCandless at the net. She'll take it outside. That twists off the block for Lexi Brown. Back row for Decker, and back row splitter right past Stadler and Bishop. They waved at it. didn't come up with it. That one arm was there, but takes a lot to happen on that blast ball to get it right. And Gilmore is going to take advantage of that rotation error to get a ace counted for her. I think, yep. And the Thunder take over at 22, and Coach Takahashi says, I better call a timeout. We are getting down to crunch time in this second set.
Yeah, way to stick to it if you're Desert Hills. They kept fighting. Pleasant Grove had a good rally there. They putting the pressure on by some good swings, some good defense, answered by Desert Hills as not to give up. And this is a good game. This is fun to watch.
3 leads there for Pleasant Grove that the Thunder shook off and came back. And we'll be back. So the Thunder just 3 points away from a big 2-0 lead, but we've seen the Vikings come back 3 times at least in this set. Popped up in the back row by Stadler. That's an overpass. Tatum Nelson takes care of the overpass. Nelson went up, put it away, and out of the timeout, Coach Takahashi got what he wanted.
Yeah, Tatum from about 8 feet off the net swung at that ball.
So do you picture in the timeout, Coach Takahashi said, we got to set up Tatum a little more? It sure worked, and there's a flopper off the net. Somehow the Thunder get under it. Decker comes up with a pretty good swing. Marley Vea free balls it over. Decker, Weybright, Hedrick, the rebounds. There's Tatum with 2 in a row. And just like that, what lead, folks? 22-22, another 2-point push by Pleasant Grove to get the tie back.
Yeah, I don't know if Coach told her to do it, but Tatum said, hey,
yeah.
I got you, Coach.
She
Here we
called
go.
it, yeah. And now a service error kind of takes the fun out of that for Pleasant Grove from Lexi Brown. And Hedrick, Malia Hedrick, will serve 2 points away from the win in the second set. Here's Malia's serve. Floats it. Popped up. There's the set back to Adri Warren, handled by Gilmore. Back row, Decker goes long. Touch. Yep, they got the touch. And that makes it a set point opportunity.
Yeah, good high swing there by Presley. Swinging well tonight.
Got a high hands point there in crunch time of the second set, and Hedrick with a chance to take this one home. Into the back corner, and she got the ace.
Good serve.
The Vikings lay off of it on set point, and that will cost them this set, 25-22.
Well placed serve there, right on the line, outside edge.
How do you do that with all those arms in the air? But great job. Hedrick pushes the 2 last points of the set, and the Thunder take a 2-zip set lead into this third set. We'll be back. Back in St. George, Utah, on the Utah Tech YouTube channel. And the Thunder one set away from a sweep. Pleasant Grove hoping to dig in here and send this into at least 4, maybe 5, and pull out a win here before heading back up to Pleasant Grove later this afternoon, I assume.
Some amazing dancing in the stands that I was noticing.
You know, that and the cheers, you know, I've done a lot of NAIA, and some of those teams, you know, the subs are amazing. They have more rituals after certain types of plays, and you almost get hypnotized watching it. You know, they're just, it's a sport that just brings out such excitement and fun, and it doesn't hurt at all that they're girls playing it, and they're not afraid to let their emotions show a little more than guys.
Yeah, I think that's part of the plan, too, because the home team has probably seen those cheers time after time. So
yeah.
The visiting team wants to see what these goofballs are doing. And so they got one eye over there, one eye on the court.
Whatever it takes.
Improve that home court advantage.
Just get the W, baby. And Weybright will serve first in this third set. Middle back, popped up by Brown. Pushed over, Spencer's under that one. Outside, Openshaw, swept into the air by Charlie Daly. Marley Vea is going to get the kill. And the first time in this match, the Vikings have the opening point. Tatum Nelson will watch Molly Mitchell come in. Nelson got some things going there at the end of that second set. They just couldn't pull it out. Back to serve, Stadler. Bump set by Wydyke, and the tip dribbles to the floor in the midst of about 3 people over there.
Sometimes getting weird is the best thing you can do on the court.
Like a knuckleball or something off of, show the big swing and hit a knuckleball with tons of spin on it. That's a really hard one. Tied up at 1. And back to serve, Openshaw just missed the foot fault again. It's a 2-1 lead for the Vikings. I'm a big Vikings fan, so it's really fun to call the Vikings here. Hoping they show me something this year. Oh, what a save there. Can they keep it going? They do. Spencer gets it over to the Vikings. Second time, nope. As Molly Mitchell takes care of business on the net. 3-1, Vikings starting strong in this third set. And Werner back to serve. I believe that's a 19 on there. Nope, it's a 10. Charlie Daly back to serve. Gilmore swept into the air by Daly. Opposite side, jammed into the block, stabbed into the air from below belt level by Decker. Spencer keeps it alive. Gilmore, a blind swing over the net. McCandless sets up the middle and airmails it over the head of Molly Mitchell. Too tall for Molly Mitchell. 3-2. And Sam Spencer back to serve. He's got about 3 or 4 different spots he likes back there, but I guess you would know that. And I don't know what the adjustment, what brings the adjustment, but maybe just to give a different look to her spins and stuff. Gilmore will get the kill.
Yeah, I'll be happy to tell you why she does that when she's done playing, so we don't give anything up.
Okay. Well, next time we go to a timeout, you owe me, man. Sam Spencer, back corner, skims the net. Handled the set, and a great angle there on the front row for Adri Warren. Tied up at 3.
Yeah, good spot there, just between the defenders, right on the line.
Warren heads back to serve. Thunder up 2-0. They lost to Marymount, but so far the only team to take a set off Marymount in this tournament. And since Marymount's done, I guess that's how it's going to end. A little long on the serve there for the Vikings. And Decker back to serve for the Thunder. And Decker takes it cross court. On the front row, a touch there gives that kill to Lexi Brown. Or was it? Well, they're not calling the touch. Thought I heard one there. And the lead to the Thunder, 5-4. As Presley Decker goes back to serve for the Thunder. A little bit of a cross court. McCandless runs it down, takes it to the front row. Lexi Brown, nice adjustment at the net by Whybright to get that down. Wow, that was coming at her like a bullet. She got just enough on it.
Yeah, good directional tip there. Way to be ready. Ready or not, it was coming right at her. Way to adjust to it.
Just stick up what you got and hope it works. Decker with the 2-point lead.
Good serve.
Stadler gives up the ace. That was one of those heavy serves.
One of those heavy serves. Looked like it may drop, but stayed up and it attacked her.
And Decker will load up again. Same spot, this time Stadler handles it. Big swing, huge swing. And Decker gives up a kill and a side out. And that will send Molly Mitchell back to serve. 7-5, another close set. Nobody really running away with anything between these two teams, but the Thunder have always had the answer. Chipped over by Gilmore to the back row. Up ahead, Molly, oh, that's not Molly, that's Brown, and the deflection gives Brown the kill, and the Vikings have pulled within one.
Yeah, Jess right in the right spot, just kind of blew her up a little bit, came a little bit high where she wasn't able to get under it and put it up in the air.
Mitchell back to serve for the Vikes. Cocks the wrist, takes it back to Openshaw. Back row attack for Decker, and it's going to go down. Adri Warren didn't quite get the platform on that one, and it sailed to the back wall, and no one behind her. And the Thunder back out by 2. Annie Gilmore loads up the 4-stepper into the tape. Back to serve for the Vikings, it'll be Marley McCandless. 6'2" sophomore setter. Starts out on the logo, floats it over. Gilmore tight to the net. Openshaw, knocked back. Little net touch there by the Vikings. Not much, but there never is, I guess.
Yeah, good job by Jayla to get to that ball and then stay out of the net.
I don't know how they do it at all. When they're running at the net and they put the brakes on while they're hitting the ball. I mean, that's amazing. Service error, and it's a 1-point game. Inching our way through the first third of this, not last set, can't say that, third set. And back to serve goes Lexi Brown. Snaps the wrist, goes cross court. Decker's there. Whybright out to Openshaw. Good dig for Stadler. Tatum Nelson pushes. Decker ends up with it, sets Openshaw. Confusion, long run. Lexi Brown runs it down. Stadler. Whybright, the quick to Megan Hale comes right back to her from Tatum Nelson. And 9-9 tie.
I'd like to see Jayla right there dump that ball.
Yeah, Nelson was just poised and ready.
Also gives another little wrinkle that they haven't seen yet.
Lexi Brown. Gilmore sends it all the way back for the attack mode. Nelson pushes. Whybright back row to Decker, and that finds the floor. It didn't look like Lexi Brown had her footwork right on that. She kind of ran out of feet and left out stretched all the way out. It was still about 3 inches in front of her.
Expecting it a little harder. It's not going to make it.
Needed one more step. Stadler, good pass. Marley Vea, big swing. Decker takes that off the first pass. Now to the front row to Adri Warren, covered by the Thunder. Bump set. Decker gets the kill. Deflection off Lexi Brown, and Stadler
Presley doing a real nice job there of swinging hard when she can, mixing up the medium hits, the rolls to the middle. She's doing a good job today.
And Weybright goes corner, sends it back to her teammate Stadler. On the front row, Warren gets covered. There's your tip. Openshaw goes to the delicate tip, and it finds the floor. 12-9 Thunder.
Good job of Megan getting out of the way there. She's in no man's land, and
boy, she got it over the block beautifully on that double block, just waiting to eat that one up.
yeah, I'd like to see Megan go back and forth instead of side to side as the middle there and kind of stay out of the way.
New setter in for the Vikings, Taylor Peterson, just replaced McCandless. Keep an eye on that one. Back to serve Weybright. Left-handed over and then tight to the net. Weybright can't make the play. Side out.
Looked like she may have missed it going for it.
Yeah.
Maybe she thought it was tighter than it was, because I think she maybe could have bump set that ball.
And Caitlin Stadler back to serve. 12-10 now, middle third of this third set. Weybright, Decker, knocked back by Vea. That tips off the net, puts a spin on it. Vea can't handle the second one at her in a row. And we're back to the 3-point lead for the Thunder. Openshaw back to serve for the Thunder. Stadler, and another one where Molly Mitchell got hung out, but this time she recovered, and the steaming hot ball from Presley Decker. She found a lane and just tattooed it to the floor.
Yeah, trying to give Marley maybe a little bit of a break to come in here and push to the end to bringing her back in here to set.
Openshaw takes the serve into the net, and it's the 3-point game. Boy, we've been right at that 3-point margin for most of this third set. And Marley Vea is going to take a seat. Takahashi trying to get some players some court time here, and Dixie Werner will come in. She shows up on her roster as a setter, but McCandless still out there, I believe. Weybright, Megan Hale airmails it out the side door. And the lead down to 2.
Yeah, kind of blindly swinging there, hoping for a touch, hoping for something.
Dixie Werner back to serve. Snaps the wrist, floats it back to Openshaw. Outside, Gilmore. Home run ball out the back door. 1-point game.
Yeah, 2 in-system balls, just unable to put them in the court.
And right off the bench, Dixie Werner is poised to get her team into a tie from the service line. And Werner, I jinxed her. It's back to a 2-point lead on the service error. And Sam Spencer gets set. She moves to position number 2F. In the middle of the floor. Werner taking over at center, and down it goes from Molly Mitchell. Hammer time from Molly Mitchell. Boom!
Yeah, good swing there. A little late on the middle, getting up there to contest it. She's there just a little bit late.
And we're back to the 1-point game. This doesn't, watching the scoreboard in these sets, you wouldn't think it was a 2-0 lead, because it's been so close during the sets. And that's a service error, so that takes it back to the 2-point lead. And Presley Decker will get set. Six dribbles and load it up. Everybody's got their routine. Stadler makes a play, and she's covered by Werner on a great play diving to the floor. Werner will set it to the outside. Was there a touch there? No. That thing sailed like there was a touch, but Lexi Brown's going to get a hitting error.
Yeah, Presley's had some luck the last couple games pushing that ball over on one, but these teams, I think, are reading that. Maybe they saw a scouting report that she likes to do that. I don't think she's got a kill on that yet.
Well, and she does it running toward the ball often, you know, which is a really tough kill attempt, but when you do it so often, she's got it down to a science. The run by Openshaw, she pushes to Werner. Stadler goes to the outside. Covered. There's Stadler on the opposite side, and that's going to be on the floor. Molly Mitchell comes from a few feet off the net to finish that one. 2-point lead, 17-15 Thunder. Starts from the 10-foot line, boom. Plants that off of Openshaw.
Yeah, good dig. Pleasant Grove Libero.
Mitchell back to serve. Openshaw with the cover. Gilmore jams it inside the block, kept alive by Nelson. Wide open corner. Lexi Brown sees it, hits it.
Yeah, good play there. Play till the whistle. Maybe they thought that might have been a lift right there, but refs didn't think so.
Nope, and they left up 25% of the court open. Here's Mitchell. Decker chases her setter. Nope, that's an ace for Molly Mitchell. That'll make Wayne Mitchell happy, her dad. And we have a 17-17 tie, and we have a timeout. So after all that, we're still tied. 2-0 Thunder, but in the third set, turnaround opportunity here for the Vikings to keep this one going if they can take this set.
Yeah, the storyline's been a little bit of a run for each team, like you mentioned earlier. Not much more than a 3-point lead, though, throughout. If somebody can just figure out a way to just get a lead and hold it for the next 8 points, they'll come home with the victory on this set.
Well, kind of what that represents to me is that they're not getting into slumps mentally. You know, they know they got their game. They know that was just that play. They're not getting down on themselves at all. They're just keep playing, and that's what you see from the really good teams. They just keep playing. They know there's going to be ups and downs, you know, every play, but you got to get up and do it next time.
Yeah, exactly. Short memory, but remember how you can get better.
Right. Yeah, don't repeat your mistakes if you can avoid it. So we got a good one in this set, and if the Vikings can take this, who knows on the way out here, as they have hung right in there with the Desert Hills Thunder. And Molly Mitchell back to work out of the timeout for the Vikings. Right down the line, Openshaw sends her setter a few feet. And then Decker gets knocked back, but makes her own cover. Tight to the net, push at the net, stabbed into the air. That's going to be point for the Vikings, and they take the lead. That sailed just a little bit outside the aerial. And it looked like Decker had to really work to get around a teammate there to make that play. Molly Mitchell still pushing the points. Decker almost got aced, but a play was made. There comes Sammy Spencer to keep things settled down and push into the net for McCandless. She tried to turn hitter on that one, and we're tied up at 18.
Good block by Malia there. Got her hands way above the net, pointed them down. Touched the ball, straight down block.
Annie Gilmore to try to break away from the tie. That's long, and they broke away from the tie, but it's the Vikings that take the 19-18 lead. And back to serve, Marley McCandless. Werner gets a lot of low fives as she heads to the bench. She had a substitute role there, but boy, play did not show that she was a substitute at all. She was excellent. McCandless sets the outside. Lexi Brown off the ceiling. Decker's seen that before. That's into row 9, seat 4. And a 2-point lead for the Vikings. Well, we had a 5-setter in the last match we did this morning. And who knows on this one. And McCandless with the service error. Malia Hedrick, middle blocker. Back to serve. Thunder down 1. McCandless goes backside. Tatum Nelson. Dugout straight down from the basketball hoop. That's going to work for Tatum Nelson. That has happened a lot in the games that we've called here.
Yeah.
But there's no other way to play the game in a gym.
Yeah.
You got to have, it's just a thing.
Yeah, good little wrinkle there by Pleasant Grove, throwing the slide on him.
They haven't done that much, have they?
No.
Megan Hale gets it through the block and down. Still a 1-point game, heading into the 20s.
I think I said it earlier, if sometimes it's good to be weird on the court.
Well, I'm sure Craig will use that in his next team meeting. As back to serve Weybright. McCandless sets up the outside. Great dig there by Weybright. Bump set. Vea's back in the game. Stabbed into the air, but Decker's not going to get there, and a 2-point lead again for the Vikings. Molly Mitchell will come back in. She'll set up on the front row. Caitlin Stadler loads up the serve, trying to take her team to a 3-point lead. Weybright tips it over. Stadler there. Molly Mitchell twists it off the middle block of Hale and down to the floor. 3-point lead.
Yeah,
Vikings in the driver's seat.
Scrambling a little bit for Desert Hills here. Coach Allroth, a good timeout. They look a little bit frazzled as they're looking at each other like, oh, I should have done that. You should have done that. Just forget about what happened and make a correction. Get better.
We'll be back. Well, you guys have a lot of weather here, Phil. Last night you would have walked out into a downpour. That's what my wife described it as. Today we're going to walk out of here. It's going to be 105 probably. I don't know how they played that football game last night in that downpour. They might have just called it for a while, or maybe that was before the football game. But that's a pretty good distraction there.
Yeah, I think they had to wait last night because of the lightning.
Yeah. Gilmore sets up Decker, and Decker bombs it out to set up the Vikings at set point.
Got a nice touch there off the block.
And look at Craig Allred, encouragement mode there. Can't see those touches from 25 feet above the court too much. There's Mitchell. Mitchell takes the team to set point.
Yeah,
Molly Mitchell was not cheated on that swing.
No, good swing there. Found the seam between the block, put it to the court.
And Werner will chase down that loose ball and come back to serve. One of 3 setters that the Vikings have employed during this match. Set point, can Werner bring it home for the Vikes? Weybright, little tip, takes it over the top of the block. Gilmore delivers.
Yeah, good high swing there by Annie.
So the Thunder fight off the first set point. And Sam Spencer goes back to serve. Cross court, popped up by Lexi Brown. Here's the set. Warren gets covered. Bump set by Spencer. Decker tries the cross. Tight to the net. McCandless is there. Behind the block push from Molly Mitchell. It's covered. Outside, Gilmore gets stuffed, and the Vikings win the set. 25-22. Vikings take the third set. And we are going to number 4. Is this the turning point of this match for Pleasant Grove? We will find out.
Yeah, good little comeback by Pleasant Grove there, aided by a handful of mistakes by Desert Hills that they're gonna get better on. They're not gonna do those a lot. If we can just play a little more consistent, I think we can get this next one.
And the Vikings fans are saying, you know, we made a few mistakes too. You know,
they did.
So it's who makes the least mistakes and scores the most points, and we'll be back for set number 4.
I'm going to go see if I can find me a G2 Chi protein bar.
Back in St. George, Utah. Herm and Phil on this side of your devices here on YouTube, the Utah Tech channel. Glad to have you along today for some great volleyball from Desert Hills High School.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I've got my little sister out in Virginia that's currently watching, my niece and nephew.
Does she have a name, your sister?
Cynthia.
Okay,
Cynthia.
There you go. I don't want you to leave that short. She's going to call you later and say, I have a name.
And her kids, Frank and Lucy, I'm sure they're just cheering Desert Hills and their cousin Sam on.
Boy, it's so cool, you know. I'm not the youngest guy, but the transition to how you can watch a sporting event, you know, through the years. And right now we're just such luxurious position to be able to sit in Virginia and watch something going on in St. George, Utah, and to keep track of a family member. Looks like the Vikings will serve first in this fourth set. Well, we had a 5-setter this morning. Desert Hills won that one against Faith Lutheran, but we are still potentially going to do that again here. And first serve goes into the net for Caitlin Stadler. And Weybright will go back to serve for the Thunder. Nasty float to the backside. Lexi Brown's on it. Big swing in the middle from Mitchell. Comes right back to her. 2-0 Thunder.
Good read by the Desert Hills block there to get up, get those hands over the net, put it down.
Megan Hale doing what she should. To perfection on that one as Weybright gets set to serve again. Oh, that was a nasty, nasty float. That dropped right in front of Lexi Brown. She needed her go-go gadget arms on that one to bring that one up as it dropped a little bit earlier than expected.
Yeah, bottom fell right out of that one.
3-0 Thunder. Weybright goes deep this time. The push this time by Lexi Brown. And Adrian Warren gets covered. Openshaw. McCandless sets up Marley Vea. Dinked around with by the Thunder, finally over to the Vikings. And there's the monster swing by Molly Mitchell. And she might have felt that one. Annie Gilmore was victimized by that one, and they're going to give her a little time to shake the cobwebs out. That was a blast. Maybe Mitchell's best swing of the day, and who was on the receiving end of that? Annie Gilmore.
Yeah, came out high, looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but just chased her down.
And she's a gamer. She'll hurt later. Oh, ricochet off the chin.
Yeah, sometimes those are the worst that kind of get you in the open eye or right in the nose where they're not painful. They just make your eyes water and you can't see for a couple plays.
So a little pause in the action to allow Annie Gilmore to collect herself. Thunder up 3-1 as Werner goes back to serve. The pride of Dixie Werner. Werner loads it up off the logo and drops it in front of Spencer. And we've got a 1-point game.
Good serve, just like Jayla's earlier. The bottom fell out of it. That thing looked like it was shot right over the net.
Look at that. Boy, the replay just exemplifies how much that ball dropped before it got to Sam Spencer. Werner again, same spot. This time rolls up the arms of Spencer, but covered by a teammate. And down it goes for the Thunder, and they get the side out, get Werner out of that service rotation. Openshaw goes back to serve. Another drop ball. Openshaw takes it deep. Stadler. Molly Mitchell hangs in the air, and that threw off her trajectory.
Yeah, Jayla reaching for it. She'd have had it if it was in.
Yeah. Well, the same thing with Molly Mitchell at the net. She was reaching for it too. 5-2, make it 5-3 after the service error from Openshaw. And Adria Warren back to serve with looking at the wrong side of a 5-3 score. She moves over to the U on the logo and service errors it. 6-3 Thunder. Hale takes a seat. Hedrick back in the front row for the Thunder. Sam Spencer poised to serve this one up. Whistles it back to Stadler. Werner. Lexi Brown gets the kill off the block. Another tight set. Brown right into the block, and this time they didn't close the block. Molly Mitchell back to serve. Oh, tape check for Molly.
Yeah, just about the same part of the net there, the very top. Fortunate it didn't roll over.
Boy, and that's an almost impossible one to return when it does.
Yeah.
Presley Decker. Haven't talked about her too much in the last several plays. She's ready to get a highlight thing going. Werner. Tatum Nilsson to the outside. Lexi Brown dinked around with, and that's going to be a point. 7-5. The Thunder played with it, but nothing positive over the net. And McCandless will go back to serve for the Vikings. Right down the line, Openshaw, perfect pass, out to Gilmore, system volleyball. A dig by McCandless. Openshaw, same thing, this time backside to Decker, and Decker splits the defenders.
Yeah, Jayla moving the ball around, good idea.
There's so much for those setters to think about. You know, they got to read the defense, read the block, figure out who's hot on your team that's going to deliver, whether to go backside or not. You know, there's just 1,000 things running through their heads. McCandless, Lexi Brown, the dig for Gilmore. Whybright, Openshaw off the block and down. 4-point lead for the Thunder.
That's a good swing by Jessica there. Kind of a little crossbody across her.
Seemed like she delayed a little bit and
Yeah.
then just released. And it was a sweet thing to watch. Annie Gilmore back to serve. Floater picked up on the backside by Warren, and that's out. And the Thunder are at 10, starting to pull away just a little. And just as we say that, Issa Takahashi calls his team over. Spread getting to be a little uncomfortable when you're in the fourth set and you have to win to stay alive. Well, Phil, not only can your sister in Virginia watch this with her kids, but she can also hear her brother on the radio or on the internet.
What a treat. They love hearing from me. I got a few messages from my other sisters. Holly, apparently she's watching. She's taken some time to watch us.
Hey, you're a hit in your family.
Usually she's too busy to do anything with our family, but...
Well, there you go. Now you just made her mad. Lexi Brown, Sam Spencer gets there, but a 4 is called, and that gets the side out for the Vikings.
Just kidding, Holly.
Well, you don't want to get in trouble, Phil.
No,
I mean, it is family, and that stuff kind of gets away from you sometimes.
Yeah, Kaysen, Brooke, Avery, go give your mom a hug. Tell her I love her.
Yeah, Phil's a good guy. Trust me, I've just met him, but I know all about him now. And here's Lexi Brown, middle back. Presley Decker's on it. Whybright, stuff-a-rama, and it hits the line on the stuff. Marley Vea, nice stuff block. It was a no-doubter on the stuff for Marley as the Vikings try to fight back from a 5-point deficit. That's tight to the net, but perfect. Whybright tried to surprise him with a dump shot. Marley has another look. Decker gets it up. Spencer, cross court and a miss for Openshaw. And once again, here come the Vikings. Coach Takahashi must be amazing in timeouts. You know, coaches just have communication, good communication with their teams, and when the teams go over there trailing, looking for something, and the coach says the right thing, that's the magic. And on the sideline, Openshaw finds the line.
Good cross-court swing there by Jess.
And that's exactly what the Thunder needed to get that side out before the Vikings got any closer. And Hedrick will load up the serve, middle back. Steps into it. Stadler's got the perfect pass to McCandless. Tatum Nelson's covered. Whybright, backside. Presley Decker through the block of Nelson and down. Nelson got a lot of that ball, but not enough.
Yeah, Presley was thrilled with that hit. She did a cute little dance after.
I'd like to see a reel of just the celebration sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, these gals are amazing at it. Flopper off the net, call it an ace. Hedrick gets the love hug from Decker. And Hedrick goes back to serve. She has spread the lead out back to 5 as Thunder trying to call it a day here with a win over the Vikes. Shank, Lexi Brown, run down by Warren. Two players converge on that one. The quick to Hale, wide open middle. One of the biggest leads of the game by 6 here. After the Vikings had scored 3 in a row, the Thunder have answered.
Yeah, good use of the middle there. Megan putting it down.
And Addie Pace, sophomore outside hitter, will join the game for the first time today, at least in this game. McCandless, the push off the block. Tatum Nelson scores. Big side out for the Vikings.
Yeah, good little run there for Malia.
Molly Mitchell back in the game for the Vikes. She'll take her place in the middle blocker position. And back to serve. It'll be Stadler. She's covered. Openshaw tries the corner. Didn't get it quite cornered enough. Marley Vea, you can see her eyes light up on that one. She knew that was going down. She, in the air, you can see her eyes get wide and the perfect motion coming through, and she gets the 10th point on the board for the Vikings. Caitlin Stadler back to work at the service line from the left corner. She'll go cross or middle on the float. Gilmore's got it. Openshaw with a chip shot. It's down. She has been successful with that little tip many times here that we've watched her.
Yeah, she's been setting it up with that good hard swing to the line too, so the girls have to stay back to defend that.
Got to stay honest on her, no cheating.
Yep.
Whybright. All the way back to Lexi Brown. In the middle, Molly Mitchell does her hang in the air thing again. Decker down the line. Who's going to get there? Nobody.
Good swing.
Lexi Brown got a slow start on that one, and even though it stayed in the air a long time, the Thunder up by 6. 16-10. Back in the game comes Dixie Werner. That's not Werner. Adri Warren comes back in. And Whybright goes back to serve. And sends it out the back door on the service error.
Looked like it might run out of steam as it was getting towards that back line, but just motored over the edge.
I think the puff of wind thing is wearing out after all these games. That's all it needed was that little underspin or whatever happens. Werner back to serve. She's had some good serves here in this set. Spencer says no problem on that one. Decker goes cross court. Stadler's got the dig, tight to the net, no chance, that tight to the net. Caught the inside of the tape on the Viking side. And that really created a weird angle for the defensive cover. So it's a 6-point lead again for the Thunder, 17-11. Openshaw slides over to the R on the Thunder. and loads up the serve. She is one of the few people that's come close to those foot faults, and she does it almost every time. She doesn't foot fault every time, but she gets close. Quick swing by Hale gets covered. Molly Mitchell with another hang-in-the-air stretch shot. She seems to have that as a main part of her arsenal. Decker goes cross, splits the defense, gets her team to 18.
Why not? Presley's been killing most every ball that's set to her. She's doing such a good job.
Well, Whybright's got a lot of options out there, and you got Gilmore, and you got Hedrick in the middle, Hale, Decker, of course. And the opportunities are there for Whybright, and she pays them off.
Yeah, don't forget about my cousin Jess Openshaw.
Oh, you're getting all the names in now. Did I not say her? I'm sorry. Yep. That's called announcer error. Hey, we'll be back. 18-11.
No error. You were just setting me up to say a name.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the Vikings got a 3-point push out of the last timeout by Coach Takahashi, and then the Thunder kind of regained their mo. And now the lead is spread to 7, 18-11 as Openshaw gets set. Openshaw skims the net. Stadler, good play. Mitchell hangs again, and under the net violation takes the Thunder to 19.
Good block by Megan there, getting way high. Just like off a trampoline at House of Jump.
Oh, this is awesome. And the swing from Molly Mitchell comes back after the last play, gets the side out with a sweet little cross just outside the 10-foot line. If you're wondering who's trying to be funny on the air, it's Herm Ellenboss and Phil Spencer. So don't write the names down. We can't give you our email addresses, but we're trying here. And we're really enjoying what we're watching, and I hope you can tell. Service violation as Kaylin Bishop sends it into the net. 20-8 Thunder, 8-point lead. Thunder trying to cruise it into the home stretch and walk away with 2 wins in a row on Saturday. Back to serve Sam Spencer. Stadler sends it up to McCandless, out to Lexi Brown. High bounce off the block. Spencer runs it down. Whybright back to Decker. Decker with the kill. Deflection right off the volleyball poster on the back wall. 21-12.
Yeah, that ball hit poor little Sammy Erickson's picture right in the face.
Well, better that than what we saw with Annie. McCandless, Molly Mitchell. Maybe that's just how she plays, but it seems like she always hangs in the air. Or maybe she's not affected by gravity. That could be too.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you're used to setting Tatum, who's
right.
4 inches taller.
Yeah. 21-13, side out Vikings. And back to serve Molly Mitchell from the right side. Sends it back to Spencer. Whybright, Decker. And Decker's just pounding it right now.
Yeah, she is feeling it.
Wow. And look at Openshaw. She went jumping up and down, arms high in the air to celebrate with Presley Decker. And now Decker back to serve, 3 points away from calling it a day.
Yeah, some of the best dance moves I've seen since the young lady in the overalls up there on about the 8th row was killing it between sets.
Well, that's the difference between you and me. You have time to watch the dances, and I'm trying to mush-mouth my way through a broadcast.
You didn't see the girl in the overalls embarrassing herself trying to dance up there?
I did not.
Everybody else did.
Okay. I'll have to ask my wife about that. Side out. Here's the serve from McCandless. Spencer a little bit of a fluff.
Good ball.
Covered. Gilmore keeps fighting on the front row. Vea, push, catches the touch of Hedrick, slows it down for Spencer. Here's Decker, and another kill for Decker.
Yet another kill from Decker.
I would love to see her numbers.
Yeah, if I was keeping stats, my pen would be out of ink marking her
What do you
column
think?
of kills.
15 kills, maybe?
My guess was going to be 17.
Okay, well, we're pretty close on that. Gilmore back to serve, 2 points away for the Thunder. Lexi Brown on the cover, gets the set back. No chance on that one. She smokes it down the line past Presley
swing.
Decker.
She said, that's enough, Presley. I can do it too.
Serious MPH on that one. And Lexi Brown, they took it away from her. So, no, they didn't. I'm sorry. Getting mixed up here. Lexi Brown.
Good hard serve.
Wybright, Openshaw, stuffer. Tatum Nelson happy about that one. That's Vea. Another solid stuff for Vea. Openshaw, a no-no from Vea.
Challenging the block.
Yeah. Stop this. Nice up by Decker. Spencer, blind set, Openshaw. Handled by Warner. Push to the floor. Tatum Nelson. Opportunistic swing there. Vikings aren't done. Trying to hold the Thunder off that celebration here. Still down by 6. Lexi Brown goes again, flops it over the net. Boy, if you can do that regularly, you'd have a pretty good service percentage. And there's 18 for the Vikings. Thunder can't quit here. Lexi Brown, same thing, another ace, this time off Spencer. 19.
Yeah, when you're getting a little bit tired, you need to rely on your technical ability to help you there.
And Craig Allred sees things bleeding away here and calls the timeout.
Yeah, maybe to remind them to go ahead and move both feet, get that platform out there, and put that ball high in the air.
Well, that would look really funny if they were just dragging one foot. I know what you're saying. Giving you a hard time because I only have a few more minutes to do that before heading wherever I'm heading. 23-19. Glad to have you along on the Utah Tech YouTube channel. Lots of U's in that. We'll be back. Well, for the last several minutes, it's been the Vikings owning this one, and they have clawed within 4 of the hometown Thunder.
Yeah, this little rotation for Desert Hills has proved to be not one of their best.
Service error takes the Thunder to set point, match point. And Hedrick will have a chance to take it home. Malia Hedrick, 24-19. All eyes on Malia Hedrick on this serve. She floats it back to Stadler. McCandless, backside, Vea, through the block and down. No, they kept it alive. How in the world? McCandless, high bounce off the block. Gilmore runs it down. They're going to try Openshaw for the finish. Still alive. Here's Vea pushing it away from everyone, and a miss ends it. Vea went a little bit wide on the miss, and Tatum Nelson can't believe it. But it's over.
Yeah. Push to the line, really close call. We're right on top of it here. I couldn't see if it was in and out.
I love having replays. Vea, yep, it was clearly out, and the Thunder celebrate a win over Pleasant Grove. 25-19 in the final set. And the Thunder win in 4, and congratulations to Desert Hills High School for a great tournament. It's been a blast having you alongside, Phil, and hope we can do it again next year if it turns out that way.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks, Herm, for coming down to Utah just for this.
It's beautiful. Well, I'm going to go see Zion. So
yeah, you can do that too. That's the number 2 attraction to St. George. Desert Hills Volleyball, then Zion.
One more plug for the sponsors, and we will hang it up.
Yes, House of Jump, thank you so much for all you do for Desert Hills Sports. G2G, thank you so much for everything that you do. Appreciate you guys.
In the first set, it was Thunder 25-16. Second one, 25-22 Thunder. The Vikings took the third one 25-19, and the Thunder wrap it up 25-22. Actually, we mixed that up. 25-22 Vikings, and now the final 25-19 in the fourth set. I'm Herm Ellenboss for Phil Spencer. Good night, everybody.